You've landed on planet 412. I'll be your captain of sorts as we navigate this strange, cryptid-filled world. Join me on the quest for truth, through the strange, mysterious, and supernatural. This is Planet 412.
And welcome to Planet 412. I am Matt Emsch, the Youngstown Dogman guy. Yeah, and all of you know who I am. I wanted to thank everybody that is here. I wanted to thank Sugi real quick, who just became a member and is gifting members. I greatly appreciate that. I want to say hi to Billy White and Carol. And let's see who else is here. Lee Chris, Paula Hawk, Twirl Pros, Bill White, Joe Smith, and let's see, I don't want to miss anybody. I saw Carol, Yvonne Marshall. So I want to say hello to everybody that's here. Thank you for being here. This is an exciting night for us. Rye Voss is here, everybody. From Codex of Curiosity, and I'm super excited that he's here, one of my best friends. And we have people also on Rumble and on pilled.net. So I just want to thank everybody for that and for being here. And I'm just going to bring my brother on. Mr. Voss, hello, sir.
How are you doing, Matt? You sound super sexy with that new mic of yours.
It's about time. If everybody notices, I finally got the microphone. I got a new mic.
I would say everybody noticed, yes, because I was talking to you earlier before we were on, and we got carried away, and I was commenting like it is night and day difference, your mic. Like you've gone from AM radio to FM radio.
Oh, it has definitely been noticeable on recording. Like I did an interview, which is going to be released tomorrow with a big guest, everybody. And hearing it has really been incredible. Like my wife and I were like, oh my God, we didn't realize how bad you really sounded before. So yeah, thank you to, I want to say real quick to my, and hello, Truth Walker. Tammy is one of our mods. Welcome. I just want to thank everybody that, donated to me to help me with the microphone. And with, you see, I got this lovely arm here.
With this blue light.
Gator frame. Well, it changes. So when you're recording, it goes on. And I'm doing the Planet 412 blue tonight, but it has different colors. It goes from blue to violet to red. So
I will say the violet is hard to tell that it's violet. I can see the blue. The violet looks more like a whitish.
Yeah, it does.
Bluish.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, on my end, it's like a light purple. And then, of course, red is very obvious. That's your traditional recording. But I got blue going, as you can see in the background and in the little graphics. So I just wanted to thank everybody for, helping me out to get this stuff. And yeah, Joe Smith, it is serious equipment. It's a Rode pod mic. It's one of the best microphones you can get. I got it because I have a Rode Procaster board.
Yeah.
Well, I use that for football.
I gotta get something like that. I gotta get some equipment here soon. Yeah.
You sound great. I just use the board though for football when I'm calling football games.
This is all I use. So
Blue Yeti is perfect.
For a USB mic, it is, in my opinion, for the USB mic, it's probably like the all around good deal. I know there's some better, maybe they have some other things, but for the USB, Blue Yeti is the way to go. It's been a staple for me. It's helped me along a lot. So it rocks. It took me a bit to figure out exactly like the sweet spot and everything else. So
Awesome. Well, hey, Rye, you know what? I needed a favor from you real quick because I have to download something I'm going to share. So if you could let
Send it
everybody
on
know what
over.
you're up to on
Oh, for sure, for
Codega,
sure. Yeah.
thank
So
you.
So I want to thank all my listeners and viewers. I hit my first level of monetization. So what that means is now I am able to have members. You know how Matt has members? I'm able to have members and super chats and super stickers and members only content, which I haven't really gotten to yet. But that's what I've hit. And my next level is coming up super fast, actually. So, everybody, please. Yeah, Twirl, of course, we can't stay on topic. We'll start with the topic and then we'll just kind of, that's what I always say with my guests as well. I say our conversation has legs and it just kind of walks its own way and just kind of goes its own direction. But yeah, so I am Sundays. I'm now dropping an extra episode. I'm trying to keep it regular, but we'll see if that happens or not. It's going to be glitches in the matrix every Sunday. And of course, I drop episodes on Thursday, and Matt has disappeared, but I am still here. So I drop episodes on Thursdays, and this Thursday is rock and roll, wrestling, Bigfoot, and Ouija boards. It sounds a little more exciting than it actually is. It's a good interview, but I love that. And thanks everybody. Thanks for saying congrats. I love that name. I thought it was pretty cool, but it fits. He's my guest is a rock and roll star. He was also a professional wrestler. He's seen a Bigfoot and had some experience with some Ouija boards. And just like me, he doesn't touch them anymore because they are something we should all be careful of and stay away from.
Absolutely. I agree. And
Great
jumping
shirt.
in.
Sorry, Matt. Great shirt.
Thank you. Yeah, that's my
Hecho en
brother.
Mexico, but hecho in Long Beach. Yes.
Yeah, my brother lives in Long Beach. My brother Greg sent that for me. So I try and sport it as much. But to what the comments started, I'm sorry, guys. We don't get to see each other all the time. So Ryan and I like to get to saying hi. So getting into what tonight's show is about, to let everybody know, I did a impromptu live stream with Rye one night on his show a few weeks ago, and he had some pictures that he wanted to go over and just discuss. And tonight, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have some cool pictures that'll bring up some conversation. I've got a pretty cool amount of them. I know, Rye, you said you were going to be bringing them too, so I am actually downloading them as we speak. So if maybe you wanted to share yours first, or you did not.
I did not.
Okay.
If we decided on that, I totally forgot. So I have to
That's
apologize.
okay.
But I see Lee has brought up a comment in our comments there about the Aurora Borealis. The Northern Lights. I've heard a lot of stories that it's not natural. Now, do I know for a fact that those because they're testing out HARP. HARP was and we all know that HARP is not a conspiracy theory anymore. There is other installations, and the first installation I believe was in Alaska, and now they've created other, and it's about electrifying the stratosphere. What exactly can happen with that one? I don't know. Now, I've had a thought on this one. Okay, I want you to hear me out. I know I'm not talking about the Aurora Borealis, but I'm talking about electrifying the stratosphere. Now, there was an experiment done with high amounts of electricity to try to make something go invisible. And this is back in the 1940s, 1947, which would be the Philadelphia experiment. Okay. When the USS Eldridge, when they tried to make that ship go invisible, when in fact they cause it to completely jump into possibly another time, another dimension through a portal. Okay. Now, what's the possibility that HARP is actually trying to do that? They've already studied this technology that maybe they're trying to jump us through another timeline, another dimension. And going back to our very first group session that we had, we talked about Mandela effects. Could that possibly, I know everybody's talking about CERN being a Mandela effect, like causing it all, but could HARP have actually caused this as well? With those huge amounts of electricity, or are we trying to make ourselves go invisible, hiding our planet for some reason. I don't know. Yo,
And hey to
JC, what's
JC
up?
real quick. What's up, man? And hello again to everybody that's popping in. I have some pictures downloading as we speak, and I agree with you, Rye. You know, you look at that like the collider and what
Mhm.
CERN is doing, and you've heard quite a few people that have come out, people that are scientists, people that have spoke up that they work there. I can't say for sure if this is a true story or not. It's just hearsay, but I had heard and watched on YouTube. I forget what interview was with a ex scientist from CERN who basically had said that they worked there and they had been opening portals to other dimensions, and one of the
Mhm.
portals they opened to, for all intents and purposes, was like hell. Now he said, was it hell? I don't know. I can't say it was. He said it looked like it, but what came out of it were creatures that look like demons. And I believe it was open for like just a short time, like we're talking maybe 5 to 7 minutes. And during
Hey, man,
that
30
time,
30 seconds is too long already, in my
yeah,
opinion.
I agree. And I could be wrong. It could be a lot less than that. I swear it was
Yeah.
like around 5 minutes, 3 to 5 maybe. And they said these creatures started coming out as first they were watching. They could see like a window and they're
Mhm.
looking, and then all of a sudden certain things started popping out. And then these creatures, demons, popped out and actually took some of the other scientists from their room and pulled them in. And these people are supposedly never been seen or heard from again. They shut everything down and the portal closed.
Mhm.
So I've heard it quite a few times. I cannot corroborate that that's a true one, but you've heard people talk about quite a few things more that is going on over there with CERN than just, trying to figure out what the Big Bang was all about.
Of course, of course. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's very fascinating. And I'm just re-listening to one of Art Bell's old episodes with Al
Oh,
Bielek. If you ever
great
heard,
show.
have you ever heard the Al Bielek one? He talks
I
about
did not.
the Philadelphia experiment is something that I I find it really interesting, and I don't know enough about it, but I find it really interesting. So that's something and he talks about being part of it, actually, that he was part of it with Tesla as well. So it's definitely something. Uh, it just I just find it so interesting, to know, just to be
Uh,
a fly on the wall for any of these things.
yeah,
Are these people legit? I hope I pray they are. I hope they are. And that's the thing that I think you and I, in this being, hosting our own shows, I think that's an issue we always come up with. Are they genuine? Are these people genuine? And that's something
right.
that we have to discern. And a lot of times I trust my gut when I'm listening to the person talk. If you could tell when someone's talking from the heart, you could tell when someone is affected by their encounter, such as
Yep.
yourself, Matt. Like,
Yeah.
listening to you, my previous
Sweating.
yeah. My previous guest, Andy, he was the one that had that really crazy experience in Michigan. Um, he is still messed up, and he's messaging me. He's like, "Dude, I need some help," and I'm going to try talking to him again, but I don't know how I can help other than trying to give him. I can't answer what happened to him, but I can only maybe push him in a direction.
Yeah, and I feel bad about that, and we'll get to the pictures just to let everybody know I just
Yeah.
downloaded them and I'll be able to share them. When you get into a situation like that,
Hmm.
my buddy who's still alive, who was one of the four with me, we speak weekly. Just hearing my voice, he said, starts to make him shake. He has a twitch now. He kind of will, he'll twitch when the subject and he gets stress comes up. He'll start to stutter a little bit. And he will break down and cry regularly. One of the things he cries about is, I'm sorry you're doing this alone. I'm going to retire. And just to let everybody know, you will find out who my buddy is that's still here. When he retires, he's going to sit right down next to me on camera and he will come out. So I'm not going to say you better retire right now. I wish he did, but he will. And he promises me, and he's always feels that he has to apologize. I'm like, dude, you don't got to apologize. I'm here for you. And the point I'm getting at is he regularly breaks down. He regularly cries. You can hear it in his voice. He has issues with it, dealing with it to this day. He's on 3 different meds from his psychiatrist. He goes to counselor sessions, and he's constantly scared. He doesn't do anything at night, hardly ever.
Now, here's my opinion. Here's my opinion on like meds. Don't get me wrong. They help you cover the problem, but they're not helping you deal with it, though, if that makes sense. Like, unless it's allowing you that space, that distance, then to actually deal with it, as long as you are dealing with it, then I say, okay. But if you're just doing it as a close the door on it, and I don't want to look at it again, and not actually try to work through the stress, the traumatic, incident, then I'm like, it's only going to come back and bite you in the ass.
I agree. All that we can do is just be there for these people and try and help them the way that that hopefully we can.
I agree.
So what I'm going to do here, and let's see, Smurfy always has great comments. Yeah, meds don't make Dogman or Bigfoot go away. No, they do not. I will attest to that, Smurfy. They don't make it go away.
Hey, Matt, sorry for interrupting you. Allegedly, I have a giant thunderstorm heading.
I see it behind you.
So no, that's actually the good side. So it's coming from this other direction. So there might be a point where I need to, I might just be I gotta go, and I'm just gonna shut down, move my whole operation back downstairs, and reestablish. So if I disappear, it's only gonna, let's say, 15 minutes at most. Okay.
No problem. We can hold the ship, right, everybody? So what I am going to do is I'm going to get to what we talked about in the description about sharing some pictures. And
I'm sorry, I dropped it on this one,
That's okay. Let's see.
And I know you said that we're going to do this, and I was in another world.
That's okay.
I was in another world.
No problem.
But I can talk about some of my experiences that I've had that maybe I've never talked about yet.
Yeah, could you let us know one of them as I prepare here?
Yes. Okay. So let's go to. So I actually keep a timeline. Okay. So for those who know me, know that I always say that my memory isn't as good as it should be. So I keep a timeline where I write down things. Okay. I'm actually going to give you guys a little bit of a thing. So I have a tattoo on my arm. Okay. It is called the Indalo. Okay. So, and I'm going to type that out in the comments. The Indalo is a JC. Yes. So the Indalo is the go-to person between heaven and earth, this world and the other world. And what they're doing is they're actually holding a rainbow. Now, why do I have this tattoo? Where did this come? So I've told many people that I worked with a medicine woman and helped with her sweat lodge for many years. Now, on one such occasion, and it's going to sound strange, but I'll explain, a spirit presented a symbol to me. Okay. It was a purple. I could see this purple outline. I'm not saying I saw a person, but I saw something, and it showed me this thing, and I drew it out in the sand after one of the rounds were complete. And I asked the medicine woman, as Joanne, I said, "Hey, do you have you ever seen this?" And she said, "No." And I was like, "Okay, interesting." So I ended up drawing it out in a book, and I was like, "Okay." Then I went to a bookstore and I found this book, and this was completely unrelated. It wasn't like I was doing this on purpose. I found this book on symbols, and it was like on symbols and stuff. And it was this huge encyclopedia, like this thick. And I'm like, oh, I just started flipping through it, and I opened the page to this symbol that I had written down. Okay. And I was like, holy crap. Okay. So this is the second time it came to me. Was the first one was the spirit showed me the symbol. The second time was opening up this book just to a random page and finding this. And I was like, okay, so this person is he can walk the bridge. He can walk. He can have a foot in the afterlife and a foot in this life. Now, the third time, because there's 3 times, and that's when I think that's really showing you. So the third time, I was at a river, this spot that I liked, it's really secluded. And again, this is going to sound strange, but this rock spoke to me. Sometimes you just get like this urge to do something. This rock said, "Break me open." And so I broke open in the rock. And inside the rock, and I did take a picture, which I don't have handy, but I will get it. There's almost a complete this symbol. It was almost complete inside the rock. Okay. And it was like this white symbol. You could see it. It was missing this part, just like here. It was missing this part here. And the connection between like the head and the neck here. The head and the neck right there. But the rest of the symbol, you could see it came down the body. It had its legs, had its arms out like this, and the one side of the rainbow went up. The rest was kind of disappearing because it had broken off. And so I decided at that point then that the symbol was meant for me. And so I got it tattooed on my arm. And that is my story.
That's crazy. I love this tattoo, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
I definitely need to add to my body and get something important here.
Yeah, I think it's always important to get something that's important, that's meaningful to you.
Correct. Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to share. Mm-hmm. Can you guys see this on the screen?
Yep. Yep. It's up.
All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to downloads, and I'm going to bring up a picture.
Okay.
To everybody. Now, this is important. I'm going to open up with the big one. So just to give everybody an idea.
I'm listening. I'm just preparing because the lightning is coming. So I'm just
sure. So to let everybody know what this is a picture from our doorbell camera. I told Rye about this a little while ago, and what occurred was I had one of my 2 dreams. My dreams about the dog man. It wasn't the actual dreamscape dream. This was another one where I was sleeping in my chair, and this thing came through the window and started running towards me. So I woke up and I was freaked out through that night. About 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
About 4:30, and hold on one second. I'm going to do something here.
I don't know if you can see that lightning in my background there.
And what I'm going to do, it's down. What I'm going to do, what happened this night after I woke up, sorry, somebody was showing me something. I was freaked out the whole night. And around 4:30, my wife, Stacy, can attest to this. Somebody rang our doorbell. And it's down. And just to let everybody know, at 4:30, and you all, I'm sure, can attest to this, at 4:30 in the morning, you do not want to hear your doorbell ring. And I jumped up, got to the front of the house. My wife had been running down the stairs, and she's wondering what's going on. And I answered the door, and of course, I was armed as well. Nobody was there. It was real foggy and creepy out and everything. And I was kind of freaked out. There was nobody running down the street, nobody in our driveway. And I just basically let it go. Well, down the road, I had looked through the files of the doorbell camera, and this one was there, and I grabbed it. And what grabs me about it, if you guys look at it, this right here, if anybody can see, that sure as heck looks like a face in my
no,
opinion.
no, Matt.
Yeah.
You shared only the page of the
Oh,
document.
I'm
So you gotta,
sorry.
no worries, no worries.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Only the document is up. Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody. Durr. My bad, everybody. I'm sitting there talking, and I have
We're just
something
looking at the one with all the files.
I apologize. Hold on one second, everybody, as my cheeks are burning red right now.
No worries. It is extremely calm here right now. It's the calm before the storm.
And let me do this one more time.
And here we go.
And
okay, I'll keep talking. And yes, there's a light show going on behind me, and so 4:30 is not the hour you want to be waking up, but the witching hour, though. Everybody's heard the witching hour. That's claimed to be around 3 in the 3 o'clock range, 3 a.m. So this was after that. So
I am.
no problem, Matt. And what else? Yeah. The Ring doorbells. It was a Ring doorbell, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're pretty crazy. Who decided that's the witching hour? Yeah, I have no idea, JC. Like as a witch, I don't want to be up at 3. Maybe like 6, 7:30 in the evening.
Now I need to share. All right. I got this down. Hold on one second, everybody. I greatly apologize.
Next time, what might be easier, Matt, is you can share your entire screen, and so then you don't have to worry about individual tabs.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Let me move this real quick.
All right. Lee Chris was asking if your experience with the Dogman at the City Concrete location is your experience with the Dogman at the City Concrete location in Youngstown?
Not the City Concrete. It was at the Jeanette Blast Furnace, which no longer exists. But what you can do actually,
what the heck is this?
So hold on, I'll explain it like I just went through explaining to everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" I apologize, guys. If you go to Google and you Google Jeanette Blast Furnace, or better yet, to YouTube, JEN ATTE Blast Furnace, Youngstown, Ohio, you'll get 2 videos that'll pop up, along with some others, old historical ones. 2 of them in 1997 are them taking it down, and you can see what that place looked like. You can get an idea of where I was. Now, getting back to what I thought I was showing you guys, I'm so sorry. This picture is from the Ring doorbell cam. Okay, this was in night vision. Again, 4:30 in the morning, doorbell rings. I had just had a couple hours before this a nightmare about the dog man coming through my window. And when weeks later, and you see the date, 1/11/2023. So it was months later. I apologize. I went through to clean some files, and I saw this. So what grabbed me is right here, everybody.
Oh, and that's at 3:49 in the morning as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it was at 3-4. Okay, my bad. I said 4:30.
Yeah,
It was.
So it's witching hour. It's the witching hour. Matt.
Yes. Perfect hour. My bad. I'm giving you guys wrong times, and I got it right here. Thanks for noticing that, right? Duh. I'm so dumb. So, guys, just to let you know, and I agree, Rye, those hours, everybody does not know. They speak of that witching hour and 3, in that 3-4. When is it? 1 to 4 or something? 2 to 4?
No, 3. Just usually it's 3, like at 3 to 4 kind of thing is the witching hour.
Okay. Well, this is perfect for it. And again, it was super foggy out. It was a creepy night. Moon was
Mm.
out and nobody was at the door. And if you look at this area that I'm circling,
I can't.
I see it perfectly.
Unfortunately, I can't see your mouse.
Okay. Well, if you look, guys, in the middle of the screen, you see
Mhm.
almost like a foggy mess. There
Correct.
are 2 eyes that I see distinctly, a nose, and even some teeth down below. I don't know if you guys can see that in the center of the screen. So,
Are you able to draw? Do you have a way to draw,
let's see.
like, on edit? At the top, it looks like you have where beside the heart, the garbage can, they'll go backwards, and just to the left of it, is that an edit button?
Yeah, it is. Here, I'll mark up. And people, my wife said that they are saying they see it. So, can you see the cross?
No, unfortunately, I can't. So it's just sharing this one picture.
Let's
That's all right.
see.
That's all right. We'll just rock. We'll just go with it.
I'm not as good as Rye is yet. I'm getting there. Let's see though. We have filters. Let's see if we can change it up a little. Okay, that brings it up a little bit right there. The
Unfortunately,
int-
we're still on that same initial
Are
picture.
you really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Let's see.
it
Hold
can.
on. Would I have to save the options?
What I would do is just close this or go down to present and see if you can present the full screen, share screen, and do the whole tab. Is there entire screen? Share the entire screen. That might be the way to do it. Damn, why can't I see it? Everyone's like, I see it. And then there's me. I'm like, I don't see it.
Uh,
There's a Dogman face on the left. I can see it. Yes, I can see the
yeah.
Dogman.
So let's see if I can share the entire thing here.
Mhm.
And again, I apologize, everybody.
No worries. I'll keep the chat going. But what are those things on the sides, like those flares?
So yeah, those are just light flares, and it
Okay,
was
okay,
it was from the infrared. So on the 2 sides, you just see light flares from lights outside. In
okay.
the center of the camera, if you start from the top, the
Mhm.
very top, just diagonal from the number 2, you see a darker like image in the middle. That's what I see as a forehead. Just below that, you see, in my opinion, 2 eyes. Just a little bit lower is a nose. And then you see almost at the bottom of that a jaw with what looks like teeth. I mean, I don't, people are saying that they see it. Um, I'm
Okay,
definitely
I
seeing
think
it.
I see it, but Belle can't see it either. So I'm kind of I think I see it, but I'm not the only one.
Here, let me do this.
Yeah.
I saved another picture of it
Okay, for sure,
with
for
a
sure.
different, I'll get better at this guy. Okay, share screen.
Yeah.
Entire screen. There you go. All right. Thank you, Rye, for
All right.
doing that. All right.
Now
Now
we're
what I'm
lost in
gonna do.
the
I know. Give
No
me a
worries, no
second,
worries.
everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so click on
And
the
the
image
chat
down
can see
below there.
each other. All right. Are we seeing what I'm seeing now?
Yeah. Okay, I'm seeing it now.
All right.
I
Now
see there's
there we go. That's the enhanced picture right there.
okay, now use your mouse to show me.
There are the eyes.
Okay.
One eye, 2 eye,
Oh.
teeth,
Oh. Okay, now I see a
face, all the way down, chin.
no thank you, Matt. Matt, no thank you.
So sorry it took me so long, everybody. I hope I didn't lose people in the chat to this.
No, yeah, everybody's like, well, not I'm saying everybody, but other people are like, I see it. I see. Well, I see it now.
So
I see
this blew
exactly what
my
you're doing.
mind. It really did. I mean, you have a situation again where someone rang the doorbell, no one's there. I had just an hour or two before that had a really crazy dream. No one's at the door, no one's running down your driveway, no one's either way down the street. And you get this picture again, eye, forehead, eye, nose area, chin, and those literally look like bared teeth to me. I mean, those look like teeth out of like maybe even a dentist office picture.
I don't know. Just one second. I don't. Everybody who's watching this right now, I don't know if I'm the only one that kind of like when I finally saw it, my stomach was like tying in knots. It was kind of like
very freaky.
Yeah,
and you can see an outline here as well, like the outer outline of a body, like arm, shoulder, head. Same thing over here, head coming down. So there's that face. I saw it immediately, and it freaked me out immensely when I saw it. So that is my really weird doorbell picture. So I'm going to move next to another one.
Okay, give me 1 minute here while you're doing that. Oh, yeah, 1 minute.
Sure. And as you guys can see, this is a foot comparison of some type of footprint that was caught. I am not aware of the individual who actually took the picture. This was sent to me on my Planet 412 email. And it was told to me that, this person who remained anonymous had taken this picture, that this was up in the Michigan area, and that they have a farm out there, and they found a whole line of these tracks, right, left, which they said between 4 to 5 feet from each step in strides. So you think about 4 to 5 feet in stride from each footstep, you're talking about something,
What do you think that is?
Feet. I think that's like a dog man right there.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was thinking maybe more like reptilian, reptoid, dinosaur.
I see reptilian, but where it came from was
snow,
it was in the snow. It was in the Michigan area. They said they weren't too far from the area of Bray Road where they took these pictures. So, you can definitely see, nail. I see some type of pad and then another pad right there. And then you see pads right there. Like I said,
it's very unique. Like I'm making the assumption that a dogman werewolf footprint would be more
dog-like.
Yes. Whereas this is more
monster movie creature,
avian or reptilian kind of footprint. It's that being said, however, I'm no expert on that, on any of it, but very interesting.
This is
too.
It's gigantic, and you can tell that's a girl. They're wearing like leopard skin kind of girly pants. Those are girl.
I have a set like that.
Do you? I apologize. I didn't mean.
I'm not kidding, man. I can't.
Anyway,
so probably maybe like a size 8 or size 9. We'll say men's, or it's JC. Sorry, that was JC who submitted this.
Oh, okay. Was it? Okay.
That's his. He was out hiking.
His foot. It's his foot in there. JC, I like your pants, buddy.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to comment on here about the different shape of this and thinking about what it is. Again, what I dealt with my friends was not natural. I get a lot of people sending me comments on the channel emails, messenger messages, trying to, save me from, save my soul from the demons and all that. And people saying different things that they're natural and you're just confused. Let me tell you something again, and I will not break on this one. What I saw with my friends was in no way, shape, or form natural. There was nothing natural about it. There was nothing but supernatural things going on. The way the creature left the building was 155% supernatural. It basically turned into a black mass and exited the building. It was not natural. That is not what a natural creature does. If it would have just turned around and ran down like it did the top of the third and second floor steps like a regular creature would, and if it would have ran down the last flight of stairs doing the same thing, I would maybe say, yeah, possibly. It didn't do that. And what I'm going at here with this, could this not be a dog man? Of course. I'm just going there. It's Wisconsin around Bray Road. It's in the winter time. And you hear stories about different types of Bigfoot. You go down into the Florida and into the Gulf area of the United States, and you hear about 3-toed Bigfoots. And some of these, start to develop different kinds of anatomy because of the terrain that they live in, either swamp or, whatever. And you do hear a lot of talk about, Bigfoot type creatures that have 3 toes. Well, I don't know why I see dog man here. I just see those nails, but what do I know? I wasn't there. I didn't see it. This could very well be some kind of a being from another dimension that, shot through a portal and ran through this field, and who knows? It just was pretty incredible when I got it. I was really blown away, and I've been waiting to show it to everybody. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I think that is awesome. That is awesome.
So I'm going to go to the next one here. And this is a subject we like to talk about here, about chemtrails. Well, I had made a comment a few weeks ago on my regular Facebook post when the eclipse happened, and some people who I'm friends with, and I wasn't mad at them, I didn't get upset or anything, they just made comments about, that's just a regular plane doing it, it happens every day. Well, as you can see in this picture, this is off out of my neighborhood. Every day I can go outside, and it's usually between the times of 10:30 and noon that they start their crisscross word puzzle type, shooting these chemtrails all over. I mean, go down here. You see them over here too. I mean, this is not normal behavior. And what's good about it is when you see it's a real thin line, like right here, this is what happens to them when they spread. And they do this all at once. And it seems like there's the sun right there. For some reason, they seem like that they are shooting to either maybe, I know I've thought about this. They're doing it so often and so frequently. Do we have more damage to the ozone layer than we are told? Is it so damaged that they have to spray this stuff to actually protect us?
In all honesty, the ozone layer actually has been healing up.
Okay, well, that is a rebuttal now, to thank you. So
here is something though. You call it chemtrails, then we're all lunatics. We're all crazies. We're all conspiracy theories.
Right.
But you call it stratospheric engineering, then it's something completely different. Or you call it cloud seeding, which is 100% legitimate.
Right.
There is cloud seeding. And this goes back to Vietnam with Operation Popeye, when they were playing around with extending the monsoon season so that the rains would last longer and that they could actually starve out the Viet Cong because they couldn't actually grow or start their crops. Now, very, very interesting. Now, one of my favorite people to listen to, Del Bigtree, he had someone on recently, and he dove deep into chemtrails because he believed that they were tic-tac-toe. Look at those. So he believed that they were a joke. He didn't believe in chemtrails at all. Okay, so he went into and he debunked some things, but he ended up siding with saying it's not chemtrails, they are contrails, but it's what is being put into the fuel that is causing this. So he says, and airplanes can fly at, actually they can fly at certain altitudes to actually not leave these anymore, but there's nanoparticles within these contrails that are actually creating this. Now, there was pictures that were circulating with planes that looked like had tanks on them, okay, tanks inside of them, okay, and everyone's like, and I think one of them had like Trump on it and something like that, and there is these tanks. Like it's good that we're able to, to prove what things really are, even though like sometimes we want them to be what, we're like, oh no, that's a chemtrail plane. No, it actually isn't. It's actually what they do to test planes. They put these large ballast tanks within these planes to simulate people, and they're like half full of a ton of water, so that when the plane is moving, the water is shifting, and it's to test the planes to make sure that they are like balanced and are able to keep steady. So that's what that picture is. I don't know if you've ever seen those pictures before, Matt.
I have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall them extremely well, though. I'd love to see them again.
Okay, let me see if I can quickly find that.
Just to show everybody, and just to say real quick, I had said this in the chat. Hey, everybody, I'm not ignoring you, just to let you know. I just put it on my phone to let you know. I see the pictures on the screen, so I'm not seeing the chat at the moment. Mm-hmm. So I will address everybody. Here's, as you can see, I have a number of pictures that I have taken of these. Oh, this is one that I have to save. I got to go back. I'm not giving that one yet.
Okay, so
after you're ready, Rye.
I'm going to share these pictures here of what I was talking about, because it's, as much as we want things to, to be, it's like, nope, that's what this is. We have to make sure we're not, that we're coming out with the proper information, so that it's, we're not subjecting ourselves to disinformation, because then we lose the argument. Then we lose it because they're like, no, that's what this is. So you have to make sure you're always, on top of things. Always need to be on top of these things. Okay, so I'm going to share my entire screen so I can quickly get this. So when you're ready, when you have mine, let me know.
All right.
Here is the first one, okay? So this is inside an airplane. These are ballast tanks. They're full of water, not completely full, so that when the plane is moving and shifting side to sides, that the water is going to move. So it's trying to like destabilize the plane, but the plane should stay stabilized. It's all about testing these planes to ensure that, that they do what they're supposed to do. And this is the picture I was talking about, where Trump is in one of these planes. You can see it's just the cutout sections, and they have these ballast tanks. This is this side, this is in the middle, this is on that side. And that is exactly what it's there for. It's to test out these, it's to test out the planes. So don't get sold because of confirmation bias that this is exactly what this is. Yeah, but Element 115, yes, they are. They're not used for ballast. They're not used for ballast. They're used to ensure that the planes are stable when they're flying. They're to simulate passengers, and that they're not full so that the water moves. So when the plane moves, because they're thinking that it's like a big, heavy person, because, there's hundreds of gallons of water in there. So there's way more weight than what a person is. But that's what and they're not used for ballast. I know I was saying they're ballast tanks, but they're just holding tanks to simulate people within the craft. Now, so that is what they use that for testing of these planes. Again, I'm not saying that I'm not discrediting chemtrails at all, because I totally believe. I believe that there's aluminum, there is carcinogens being in there. There is a guy that I'm trying to get on that was on Del Bigtree show. I've reached out to him, and I can't remember the name of his website, but he talks about this. There is cities that are banning planes from leaving chemtrails over their cities. Now, this was such a conspiracy theory. Why are these happening? So Tennessee passes chemtrail bill banning airborne, and they're still calling it like, they're spraying poison. Tennessee passes chemtrail bill banning airborne chemicals. Like, if a state is doing this, there's a reason why. It's not, states aren't going to make these willy-nilly decisions. That being said, we've seen a lot of that happening, but they're going to take their time and make those decisions.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, Forrest, they could be spraying aluminum and bromides to reflect the sun rays. Are they dropping nano tech into the atmosphere? I'm sure that testing is going on. However, there are nefarious motives. Yeah, of course they're trying to block out the sun. Here,
I've heard from other people that were involved. Sorry to interrupt you, Rye. They do for sure spray aluminum.
Okay. Now, this is a theory that they proved. So they are trying to block out the sun partially, and this is not something that they've hidden. Bill Gates has talked about doing this, blocking out the sun to, combat global warming. Now, something happened on 9/11. We all know what happened on 9/11, but what else happened on 9/11? What happened to every single plane in the sky?
They got put down. Yeah,
they got grounded. Okay,
right.
So this provided an amazing, and I don't want to say amazing, but it provided an opportune time to test what happens when all these planes are grounded and there's no more contrails. There was no more clouds in the sky. So they were able to test the air quality and what happened, and the temperature. What happened was that the daytime temperature was the same. There was no change in the daytime temperature from whether there was, a million planes flying and producing cloud cover. But when there was no more cloud cover in the sky at night, it actually cooled down further, because it was allowing, the clouds were actually keeping the heat inside, like an insulation blanket. So what it did was allow the heat to escape to the upper atmosphere. So there we have it, that spraying and trying to produce cloud cover to prevent the temperature from rising did nothing to do that. It actually causes a insulation factor that keeps the warmer on the bottom side. Very interesting.
Bill Gates is a demon. Okay. You never know. I mean, you hear about,
I think a lot of the things he's done definitely are good grounds for that argument.
And I would say most countries that are not like third world countries admit to cloud seeding. I mean, and going back to the demon comment, I mean, we could get on a whole other subject. You have, Justin Bieber, who hundreds of people said they saw him turn into a lizard in an Australian airport. Did you ever hear that one, Rye?
I did not.
Oh, this is very well known. And whoever in the chat knows this experience, this story that occurred, please speak up. Basically, this is all over the internet. This was a couple years ago, at least. Basically, he had flown into an Australian airport, had 100-something people that were surrounding him. Carol said she heard that, and they were all, of course, oh my God, Justin Bieber. And apparently, in front of everybody, he turned into a reptile. And people went berserk. They ran out of there. People have given interviews. I mean, we're talking a ton of people have come out and, said 100% he turned into some kind of reptile person. And when he did it, he didn't expect that to happen, obviously. And when everybody reacted, he reacted, and the people that were his, protection security handlers, quickly took him from where they were, but the damage was done. And then we can move to that famous viral video of that woman on the plane. That mother blank in the back there isn't human, or whatever she said, isn't real. And I believe she had the same type of experience, that she was looking around the plane and she saw the guy turn into a reptile or something. He was a different type of being, maybe, and his whatever technology he's using to hide who he is, she saw it. And I believe her. I mean, the chick went. Why would somebody go
Claim
to
that.
those
Why would
lanes?
you do that? Yeah.
No, she was very obviously upset when that happened. I mean, the chick, she realized the trouble that she's going to get in being removed from that flight, or just removing yourself from that flight. It's going to get you in trouble with, the airlines. They don't like that kind of stuff. She was very adamant about what she saw, and I'm of the mind that I believe,
She saw
that
something.
she saw something for sure.
And like that demon face. Yeah. P Gene is talking about it, saying it's not demon face syndrome. Like, who was it? Was it Beyonce that was up on stage, and she was doing some sort of concert, and her face turned into a demon? Like,
I don't know. I heard somebody's did. If that was her, I wouldn't be surprised.
I saw that, and it is crazy. It's crazy, and you get a lot of the side eye slits, like the side eye blinking, it's like
Oh
they have
yeah, videos on
regular, but
YouTube.
it's like click, click. Yes.
Yeah, they've shown them both ways, from side and top. You have the what's his name? I can't think of his name. The lead singer from Smashing Pumpkins gave a very famous. Yeah, what's his name again?
Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan, correct. He gave a very, very famous now interview with Howard Stern on his show, and told everybody, millions upon millions of people, that I was with someone. I saw them shapeshift. They changed from the person that they were into another type of being, and and he saw them change back. And he said numerous times he'd seen this individual do this. He even recently gave the hint that maybe he was even dating this girl that had the ability to do this. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Like Mystique from the X,
from X-Men. Yeah, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. By the way, since you bring that up, I'm going to be a comic book geek real quick, to my wife's dismay. If everybody in here, we have 50 people, by the way, I would really appreciate if you have not hit the like button, please, real quick, leave, click that like, come back. But I am going to make a recommendation to everybody in here. Now, I know everyone is not a comic book lover here. If you like comic books, if you like the Marvel movies, DC animation, in my opinion, has been the king for years.
Yeah.
It has definitely been taken down from its throne.
DC live action, though.
DC live action cannot handle Marvel. Marvel, thankfully, has made changes, because they've come out with some crap in the last year. Love and Thunder was the most horrible Thor movie ever. Gore does not look like that. Doctor Strange was horrific. The special effects, I could have done better on my horrible computer. And Marvel's was disappointing. Ant-Man was disappointing. So Kevin Feige and the other guy that's in charge there said that they're going to make changes in Marvel. They're only going to release 3 big budget Marvel movies a year and a couple on Disney Plus. And I think that's smart. The point I'm getting to is, and DC animation is still incredible, has been dethroned by X-Men 97. If you have not seen it on Disney, you have got to check out X-Men 97. Guardians of the Galaxy PG 63 actually was good. I liked Guardians. X-Men 97 is incredible. If you ever read comic books, X-Men, when they were big, especially when John Byrne was the artist and Chris Claremont wrote it, like during the Dark Phoenix saga and things like that, that is when it was at its apex. I know Jim Lee, when he was doing it, was big too. But what they're doing in X-Men 97 is so out of the book of Chris Claremont, John Byrne. Highly recommend X-Men 97. It is the best animated series I have ever seen. It is as good as any Marvel movie, period. And they are doing incredible work. So check it out if you're a geek and you want to see that, everybody.
Cool.
I'm going to go back real quick to my sharing, because I was at the pool. We belong to a pool club. Ironically, I used to belong to this
billiards or swimming pool?
No, swimming.
Okay.
So I used to belong to this when I was a little kid. And you get older, I'm playing ball in high school and college, and you stop. Thank you, Blasphemist. I appreciate that. And P. Gene, you need to watch it. And we ended up finding out that someone else had purchased this pool, and the circle came full round. So now me, my wife, and my daughter belong to this place. So I was there last summer, and it was later in the night. They were having like a theater night. So as they were setting up this gigantic blow up screen and getting fires ready and all this, really nice, I noticed one specific trail in the sky. And this wasn't your traditional kind of trail. And what you're about to see is something really, really different. And I cannot believe what I saw. And I took great pictures of it. Hold on. Let me go, and I'm going to go to the next one here. Where'd it go? Okay, it was giving me a choice before. Hold on, that's the wrong one. It's going to be the next one. And it's not. It'll be the next one. Yes, there we go. So if you can see, and this is a video too, and that's a short live. So you see this sucker go right here, and then boop, quick curl. That's very abnormal, wouldn't you say?
I would say so. That's a very quick turn.
Yeah, super fast. I was really blown away by that. Let me see here. I can't make it bigger with this one, but I have other pictures.
Okay.
So
okay.
There's another one. No. So there's a different view you get of it, and I was just wowed by it. I guess I could go closer and redo the picture. There's one. There's a better view right there.
Just below your mouse is the magnifying glass on the right. Go right.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Rye.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah, keep going. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's an extremely sharp turn. Unless it's
I mean, that is not normal. That is not even.
It almost looks like it changes elevation as well.
It does.
I'm no aviation expert.
It even looks like the way the thickness right here, it changes when it turns, almost like it changed.
But that's like a second turn right there, where you're putting.
Yeah,
that's
right
like
here.
It's almost like it changes a bit more of direction. Like
right.
Yeah.
And it just blew my mind on when I was looking. I was like, Stacy, look, and she's of course like right. So I just was blown away by this, and you see some.
Look at Stacy. That's crazy. I'm giving her a hard time. Interesting. Yeah, there's kind of like a hiccup there or something. It's when they shifted from fourth gear to fifth gear.
Right.
Yeah, I agree, Paul. It looks like it has knots in it. Oh, thanks, Pamela.
Yeah, let me back out here real quick, everybody. So
Just
I can't
you.
see anything.
Yeah, Pamela just donated $20 as her late fee. She said.
Oh, thank you. Hold on a second.
Forrest is asking a question if you want to answer that. He's saying, did you witness, so from your dogman experience, he said, did you witness any moisture or saliva on that dog? Yes, he did. So did you witness any moisture or saliva on the dogman you witnessed that night?
Yeah. So
Matt makes
first,
a point of this.
Pamela, thank you, by the way. And to let you know, Forrest, what occurred was when we were hiding inside of the Jeanette blast furnace building area. We noticed when it came in, when it was looking around the room, it was sniffing. One of the things that quickly grabbed my attention, and my friends later told me they noticed as well. I didn't say anything to them when this was going on, was immense saliva amounts, not just, string drip. I'm talking pouring from its mouth. It was drip, 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 drip. And there was even a point above the giant fire crackling and all that. You could hear some of these saliva gobs, if that's what you want to call them, that's what they were, hit the ground. You could hear them hitting the ground. It was very much like being in like an old empty building like we were, and it was raining and you could hear, rain hitting the cement. You literally could hear some of these saliva gobs hitting the cement, and it was immense, the amount coming. And that put us in the mindset, especially me, that this thing is here for killing and most likely feeding.
For dinner.
So, yeah, for sure.
Jeez.
Oh, okay. You know what? You're not the only one, True Heart, that has mentioned that to me. Thank you. And
What
I
is
want to
that?
put, so
Rapid eye movement desensitization?
So they have this REM. So I know at this one place they do it. I forget, they have another name for it. They'll put you in a machine and they will connect some type of thing next to your head. And what it does is it turns on a some type of electrical. I wish I had it here, the name of it, some type of electrical frequency that hits a part of your brain. I remember seeing it in this one office one time.
Okay.
So if you were to sit down on it, where they would put your head back, and they had this thing that would come to the left side, and they'd put it along the head here, and there's some part of the brain where they would release this type of electric frequency or energy or whatever at a controlled manner that hits a certain part of the brain that actually helps you deal with PTSD, anxiety, all types of things, depression, things like that.
Okay.
Matt,
Interesting.
those shield-like slabs, as soon as I saw someone comment, they're actually shields used to protect workers. So I believe that as well. What I was told is that they were milling shields from someone who worked in a steel mill, but I wouldn't doubt that they were utilized for that as well. I know that they did wear the aprons, those heavy aprons. You always see steel workers wearing that. And Carol, I agree. Too bad I couldn't have gotten slobber, but just to let you know, 14 years old, that was the last thing on our mind that night. Not worrying about the slobber in there. We didn't want to have it slobber on us, taking care of us that night. So
yeah, it's like I would, that would be the last thing on my mind. The number one thing would be to get the hell out of there. Yeah. So I looked at, sorry, Matt. I looked at my forecasts at the radar, and the storm has shifted to go around the city, but still a lot of lightning going on. But yeah.
Yeah, it's dark as heck behind you, man. You could
every now and then you can see like a right over there. It just went, yeah.
Very, very. I love thunderstorms. Anybody here? Do you like them, Rye?
I love them,
Love them.
except when I'm trying to do a recording or a live.
Rye, is your lightning red? Or if that's
I don't.
just kind of,
I,
it's
I
probably
think that
coming through her filter that way.
yeah, because there was some smoke in the skies here because there was a lot of there's been a lot of like not forest fires, but there's a lot of fires because it's so dry. It's drier than a popcorn fart, and so there's a lot of smoke or haze in the sky. So it might look red because the lightning's coming through it and it's kind of being going through a filter. It's going through a red filter right now. But I can
Yeah, I
definitely.
love them. Anybody else? Kelly loves them. Bill White. Yeah, anybody else that likes a lightning storm, let us know. Forrest, you are welcome. Absolutely. Um, again, thank you to everybody that has donated tonight. I appreciate it. I want to, let's see. I can't remember. Let me go back real quick. I want to make sure I got everything. Oop, no, don't want that. All right, let's see. Let's go back, make sure I got. So this one here, I want to go back to that because that was, oop, why'd it go backwards? That was odd. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not letting me. Maybe because that's a like a live video. It's not letting me. There we go. Not that one. There was those. That's a good one right there. And again, I just want to bring up this hiccup. It makes you wonder, like, what's going on? What kind? And you can see right here too.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to bring this up, not to. I'll take it off quick, guys. I know you want to move on, but again, I could just see some type of whatever makes its turn and is completely up in a different area.
Well, this could be that there could be a different wind or something causing it to spread. Though that one little hiccup, though, in there as well, like this is a very, very tight, but that hiccup that's around there, that's very, very strange.
Yeah, it is. It is. I agree.
Like it's not consistent with everything else that we see on here. It's very different.
Yeah, it's strange. It's real thick and then a little dip dip and
Hmm.
gone. It's like they
Yes.
hit another level or something.
Or there's something else in there. I don't know.
Right, exactly. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
they released a some type of drone or something from it. Who knows?
Exactly. I
Very
don't know.
cool.
Hmm.
Very cool. Yeah, I wanted to share that for a while. That's been sitting in my file for quite a while now. And we're gonna go back here. I don't want anybody to see that. That is something for tomorrow. So there we go. Those
So,
are our pictures.
mhm.
I'm gonna remove that. And I did it, guys. Yay, I
You
shared.
did great, man. You did great. That is awesome. That is awesome. And I feel bad that I kind of dropped the ball today.
That's
I don't know. I don't
okay.
know. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't. I know you had mentioned that, and then I was like, "Oh yeah," but I had something else completely on my mind, and I
No,
apologize.
no. Oh, you know what, Ryan? I just saw the flash behind you, and it does have kind of a color to it. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah,
It.
it's right over your right shoulder. Yeah, there it's because the last one they showed it had a hue of red to it. Maybe it
Mhm.
is the clouds or whatever around it, but I did see that as well.
Yeah.
Um,
It. I would say that it's the haze. Like there's a smoky haze that's all throughout. There was some pictures online from our city here that they're talking about that how it's this the smoky haze. I can smell the rain. Like how the rain has that specific smell. Yeah,
yeah, it was right there. It was
right up over
red.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
was red for sure.
yeah. So I can definitely smell. It's like wet smoke. Actually, it has that wet smoke smell. So it's kind of like not the best, but it's also we really can use it. So for those who don't know, so today, the temperature felt like I'm not saying it was not the actual temperature, but it felt like 120 degrees Fahrenheit today. So
Wow.
yeah, it's been a little warm, and for Celsius, which I am, it was I think it was 47 or 48 degrees Celsius, it felt like. And they're saying for the next 40 days it's going to be hitting the 40 degrees, or not the next 40 days, I think, because we've already had like a week's worth already. So maybe for the next month here it's going to be
Jeez.
sitting around that.
We've had nice weather here in Ohio finally, thank God, but that's way too hot. But hope it cools down for you, brother.
Yeah,
Carol, how?
a little bit.
Hopefully for you. I feel bad for you because when you can always, when it's cold, you can get a blanket and you can get warmer, but you can't always get cooler.
It's true.
Yeah.
I will not argue with that at all.
So Carol has a question here. How long was it before, or if you ever went back to your Dogman experience? Good question. We did go back years later. We were in our 20s. I believe we were around 21, 22 years old. So, I mean, we were 14. So about 7, 8 years later, we went back armed for bear. We had plenty of weaponry amongst us. And there was, I believe, 7 of us when we went back. And we didn't really talk about with our other friends what was going on. We just, hey, let's shoot, let's go because there were areas you could go shooting down there. Let's all go, bring your guns with you. And, we never know, we could run into there, guys. Let's just all make sure we have our weapons with us. And 4 of us knew what was going on. The other 3 were not. And we did not, as I've let everyone know before, we did not share this with other people. We did not share it with our other friends. I tried to share it with my mother the first night we got home. My dad had just told me in the car, do not say a word about this to your mother. Of course, as soon as I walked in, Mom, I saw a werewolf. And my dad's face was priceless. And my mom, of course, is like, what the hell is he talking about, Ken? He said nothing. Her name was Elizabeth, but her nickname was Betty. My dad, Kenny, Betty. They saw a bear. Just go to bed. They don't know what they saw. So we kept it to ourselves. But we went back, and one of the things that we did was we made some measurements, which is how we got some idea of the size of this thing. So, as I've told in my experiences, real quick, I'll make it quick. There were 4.
Take your time. This is interesting.
4 huge pillars for foundation stability that they obviously built right at the beginning. There were 4 of them at each corner of the room. They kept the building. They went obviously way deep underground and as high as the building went. They were roughly 4 to 5 feet wide. The ceilings on each floor were roughly between, we believed, like between 15 to 20 feet. We thought 18 was about how we could, really get there. We all agreed around 18 feet high. So when it had stood up inside of the building before it had dropped down and ran for the stairs to come up and murder me,
I laugh now, but
no, of course I'm laughing too. This thing was, standing in front of, at the angle I was at least standing, I could see it standing in front of one of these pillars. It could not be seen from behind it width-wise. So 4 to 5 feet wide, this thing was easily that wide. You couldn't see the pillar from its sides. So it was hidden. The top of the head, we guesstimated, was around 10, 11 feet from the measurements we got. And then from the tip of the ears, it was probably around 11 to 12 feet. So somewhere in between 10 to 12 feet, this thing was. I truly believe it was absolutely over 10 feet because of all of the things that we were looking at, measuring. We brought tape with us. The tape only went so high, but, it was unnerving to be there.
To say the least.
Yeah, we were the 4 of us were nervous. Just to let everybody know, I am going to go back this summer. I am going to go back with Stacy. I'm going to get her to go with me, and we're going to go down there and we're going to make some film, and I'm going to show everybody, where it was. It's gone, just to let you know, I told everybody you can go on YouTube, you can put in the search engine, Jeanette Blast Furnace, Youngstown, Ohio, and you'll get 2 videos in 1997 where they take it down. Ironically enough, I'd gotten a comment from somebody who said something, yeah, I don't believe that thing was still erected when you had your experience. They normally knock those things down when they're closed. And so I went online because I knew it was still erected because it happened there. And I actually found the Jeanette Blast Furnace demolition videos from 10 years later. So I happily put that link in the reply to this gentleman, and he had no comment from that. So that made me smile. So everyone always trying to I don't believe it, I don't believe it. That's fine. You don't believe me, I don't hate you.
Yeah.
But it happened. You make your own choice. Let's see right here. Forrest, I don't believe these walking canids have an ounce of good in them. I believe that most Sasquatch are no threat to us. They just want to be left alone. The majority, I mean, Rye, you can join it too. I mean, the majority of what I hear with dogmen are scary and negative. Of course, you also hear of them a lot of times scaring people and not harming them. There's even a kind of like a thought out there that a lot of them enjoy to scare people, that they kind of get off on it. This one was coming for me and my friends.
Definitely. Yeah. And I agree with you. I think a lot of dogmen are, they're scary SOBs, man. And I do believe that I wouldn't say Sasquatch are no threat to us. I think they are a threat to us because they want to be left alone for most part. But there are still abductions by Sasquatch on children.
100%.
That happens, and that is a threat. Anything that is abducting you against your will is evil. I'm just gonna come out and just say that. Doesn't matter if it's abducting you, not necessarily hunting you and eating you, because bears do that. Other
that's done and done.
Yeah.
Well, you get the bluff charges, you get them that run you out of their territories. That's scary. It's not a pleasant. Oh my God, Bigfoot, like the experience I had at Beaver Creek where I got a cool EVP. That was positive. I wasn't bluff charged or ran out of there or threatened or anything. Dr. Russ Jones was in a video. I did an interview on his channel with his partner, Brad, and he was on one of the Small Town Monsters interviews, and they were talking about a highway patrolman. I think it was from Kentucky or somewhere like that he interviewed when he was younger. And he spoke about this highway patrolman telling him that him and his wife would frequently, and I'll get to your question, Carol, I promise, would frequently go and they would look for ginseng. And he said that what they did was one day they were both on 4-wheelers and they had the 4-wheelers rolling. They're looking along, looking at ginseng, paying attention. I learned a little. He's like, you look at old stumps and things like that. And he said, I'm looking down. I look down. I look up. I look down. I look up. And bam, standing right there is a absolutely massive Sasquatch. Never seen one before in his career. Police officer, state patrolman. And he said he stopped his 4-wheeler. His wife stopped, and he said to her, "Hey, look." And Russ Jones tells it beautifully. And he got his wife's attention, and she's like, "Why are you stopped?" He said, Look. And he said that she looked at it and she started screaming, "Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no." And she made him leave. We have to go. And he said, he was talking to this Russ Jones said, I was talking to this high patrolman, and he said, I'm not saying that they all do. He said, but it really makes you think, looking at the size of it. This thing was roughly the size of a piece of plywood. He said, you hear people disappear regularly in forests and in parks. And I'm not saying they all do that, but it makes you think it wouldn't be too hard for something that size to snatch a human being, even a big man.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. And what are your thoughts? Like, I know you guys went out all armed. What are your thoughts on actually weapons doing harm to Dogman?
I'm glad you brought that up. That's another one of the things that is spoken a lot about with dogmen, where I remember the one that I hang on to the most is a hunter hit a dogman with 2 shots from a 30-30 rifle. If anybody knows about a 30-30 rifle, that'll put down a bear, a grizzly bear. And he said he hit this thing twice in the chest area, shoulder, chest area. And he said it literally looked down at its chest and looked up at him and smiled. And gave him a smile, kind of, and almost like he was like, it didn't seem to mind it. It didn't stun it. It didn't, you hit something with a 30-30.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go down. It's time to leave.
It's time to say your prayers, man. It's time to say your prayers. Yeah.
What that says to me, Rye, is I'm going supernatural with, some of these things. Mm-hmm. Do I believe all of these dogmen out there that people have experiences with are supernatural? No, I do believe, and we've talked about this before, you and I and other people, that the governments have gotten their hands on whatever genetic code and have in their shop of horrors, maybe genetically created something. I think and I know I've heard other types out there, more man-like shaped ones, smaller. And then you hear of these bigger type of, nightmare fuel alpha monsters like what I saw. And I think there are different types. Some are more natural, some don't have supernatural abilities. I think those are the ones that you could hit with the 30-30, these natural ones, and probably take down. I think whatever this guy hit with 2 shots from that rifle, it didn't phase it. I'm going more supernatural there.
Now we got a couple of people saying, Thomas Antrobus says he's got silver bullets for his 10mm pistol. Jack Spring said David Leedy shot one with 38 and it had no effect. Joe Barber shot one with a custom copper bullet and it killed it. So is it possibly the natural metals that are able to get through? We talk about Barton. He's got his swords. Like possibly. There's something along that line. And I had a previous guest that he claimed he cleaved almost an arm off of a dogman, with his sword as well. And it leaves you, it kind of brings us to the point is like, well, maybe hand-to-hand combat weapons are possibly better. And have you heard of the dragon's breath? So Trueheart is talking about dragon's breath. No, I have not. Have you?
Yes. Yeah, there are shotgun shells that have like explosive type of reaction when you shoot them.
Oh shit.
They'll catch stuff on fire. So Trueheart, those are badass shotgun shells. I do know what those are.
Jeez. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, it could be something to do with the natural weapon. Silver has been like this antibacterial kind of natural metal that
it's good against infection. So
what there's something to it, and all the stories go, silver bullet will kill or anything silver will kill a dogman, and silver also has an effect against vampires as well too. So it's something to consider, that having having silver might be worth its weight in gold. Maybe. I don't know. It could. And I agree with you. I think there's all different types of dogmen and werewolf kind of creatures, that they're not just one size fits all. I do believe that the military has gotten their hands on some as well.
I agree. And Lee Crisp, I'm going through some of these. I went back. I don't want to disrespect anybody. Could it be an airplane for airplane show? There was no airplane show going on, and we would have saw them. You know, there was nothing.
Oh,
and
with
the
that,
other
with that
thing,
hard when it cut.
yeah, the string. And just to let you all know, what I did not say as well is it wasn't there like 1 minute. There was no noise. There was no sound or any. And then I set up maybe 2 minutes later, and boom, there it is. So definitely not a show. Definitely didn't have anything hitting. You know, like I saw someone comment, it could have been a plane making a tight turn and hitting the afterburners, but I heard no breaking the sound barrier. I've heard them multiple times. You know, we have an area that flies over our house from the air base that's close to where we live. In Cortland, Ohio, and the Ravenna Air Base, and they follow. You know, a lot of places follow the same flight pass. So we'll get, you know, like attack helicopters and jets and fighters.
Cool.
I saw some Raptors. I actually got a cool picture of a Raptor one time, and we've had them break the sound barrier over our neighborhood a couple times. You hear that? It is very loud. So, you know, no, I don't think it was
interesting
a show. Let's see.
That's really interesting, actually.
It is. Let's see right here. And thank you, Mike Warner, loving the channel. I appreciate that. And Rye's a huge part of that tonight. And don't forget to go to Codex of Curiosities. He's doing a great job. By the way, congratulations on how great and fast your channel is growing. No surprise to me at all.
I really appreciate that. Yeah. It's been 3.5 months now, almost 4 months. And it's I would say within the 4-month mark, I'll be hitting the full monetization of the channel, which is exciting for me.
It's going great for you. I knew it would. Congratulations. I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Have you ever wondered what caused the train to start blowing its horns? Yes. And, you know, I've talked about this on every interview I've ever done. We're up in the mid 30s now of interviews I've done in 3 years. And, the only two beliefs it could be. I tend to go towards the fire. We had a pretty huge one going inside the building, and you could see it from outside. Other people have actually made a good point, though. You know, we had that makeshift wall that was well off the ground. It was at least 10 feet high. Well, I'd say 8 feet high, because they were about 4 feet high, these milling shields. So about 8 feet high. So above it, you have a massive area that's open, and where the train conductor would be sitting as they go by that building, he would have got a great view right inside the building, and he could have seen that thing running up the stairs or in there. It could have been very easy if he saw it. I don't know. My thoughts tend to go to this. He didn't stop. He kept going. And if he knew we were in there and saw us and then saw that and kept going, wow, that's pretty dirty. If he just saw that, I wouldn't stop either. I just think he saw the fire. I do. I can't prove it, but that's just my belief.
Interesting.
Let's see. Let's go down.
I find that really interesting. Yeah, True Heart. I totally agree. You know, the train horns could have saved your lives. I don't think they could have. I think they did.
They did. Oh, they did for sure. There's no question. Calf Boy, hello. Let's see. We have somebody from Down Under. Hey, Matt, it's your pal Craig from Australia. I just discovered your channel. Thank you, Craig. Welcome, my friend. Make sure you also check out Codega's Codex of Curiosities, Rise channel. You'll like it.
Yeah, hey
Welcome.
Matt, thanks for that shout out, Matt. Yeah, Caffey Boy, I did a interview with a gentleman from the outback, and he talks about a lot of things in Australia that he's seen and experienced. So yeah, check out that one. You might be interested in that one.
Let's see. Nervous. I would have been thinking that night was my last on Earth. Yeah, if you've ever heard my interviews, the many, I've gotten very emotional about it. I had my life flash before my eyes. I've said I didn't believe it was my life flashing before my eyes, but Carol Ann from the In Between, another great channel you guys should check out, a very good friend of mine. They just did my experience as well on their channel. We were talking about it when she was preparing for telling it, and I said, I don't think I really had a last look. And she said, Matt, you were 14. You didn't really have that much stuff. You had your life flash before your eyes. You saw your family. You saw your dog. You thought about playing football. You saw that in your head. It all went bing, 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 bing. That's your life flashing before your eyes. So it did. I truly, in all seriousness, and the sweat's starting now, even thinking about it. I fully believed that was it, that was going to be the end of all of us. So it really was not pleasant.
And I can agree. I could believe that, man. Like it's just crazy. It's crazy that is, something at your age to experience something like that. I don't care what age you are, in all honesty. Experiencing that at any age is going to be absolutely terrifying.
And like I said, I'll just leave it at this. I don't care if you are a U.S. Navy SEAL that had multiple tours in Afghanistan, fought for your life multiple times. You are faced with that. You don't know how to deal with that unless you're some kind of secret, government, wild pack. Yeah, that they deal with cryptids regularly. Unless it's that situation, you are not going to be, I'm a Navy SEAL. I can what is that? I want to go home. That's what basically would happen. So right here, True Heart said they feed off our fear called loosh, just like evil demons do. They do. And you talk about Rye, you've talked about, I forget what the clinical term is you used before, where animals are killed when they're terrified. They say that it makes the food take. Yeah. So that's another thing that these dog men could be doing. I'm going to scare the hell out of my prey before I kill them. And I've said this lately. I've just recently thought this. A lot of these dog men, and again, this thing was an alpha. It could be all by itself, but you look at how wolves act. They have an alpha male. They have an alpha that runs the pack. When they go to eat, that alpha eats, and every other part of the pack sits back and waits for permission. Was this thing alone that night when it was coming after me and my friends, or was it going to go start to eat and then allow the others to come as well? That's something I thought about too.
For sure. Quick thing with Paula's message, Paula Campbell. Paula, not to discredit what you saw, but again, I'm always about, removing any possibility. So take a look at Starlink satellites. It could have been Starlink satellites, what you saw. Because you watched a long line of elongated lights, going across the sky. There was no sound coming from them. Watched for 10 minutes until the last one passed over. It could be Starlink satellites.
I agree. I've seen them myself, and we're not being disrespectful to you at all, Paula. But that is what most likely those were.
And I saw someone earlier post that, like it's disrespectful to question someone's experience. As a host myself, I don't normally do that, but like I don't do that. But it's okay if you don't believe. If you don't believe any of my experiences, I'm not going to hate you. I'm not going to, But if you're disrespectful in doing that, get out of here, then kind of thing.
Right, and
But
we're not being
yeah,
disrespectful, we're just actually pointing out an actual truth that a lot of
yeah,
people you could go right now and Google that, and you'll see a video of it all over YouTube, and,
yeah. And I'm just saying this in general. It's just like it is always okay to question. It's you don't have to blindly believe everything you see or hear. I always say, take everything with a grain of salt and, look into everything yourselves.
I think this might have been Carol. I've been trying to find your comment that you had made. I wanted to get back to it. You said, "I
I think
wonder
that's
if
water, maybe.
holy water would
Yeah.
have on a dog man." I don't know. It might lick it off, or it might just look at you and get angry for throwing water on it, or
Or
it might hurt.
mhm,
Yeah, I don't know. And again, what I love what you brought up, Rye, when we were talking about silver bullets and
mhm.
then the copper bullets and the copper bullets, I think it was just a lucky shot. He hit it in one of its eyes. It entered a very very vital area and it snuck through. And again, copper being along the lines, as you pointed out, one of those pure, types of metal that have specific properties to it as well.
Mhm.
Copper, I believe maybe, again, guys, we find out regularly that there's a lot of truths to mythology out there. We've been finding out a lot of things that everybody thought was just fake and myth and legend and just stories at the campfire and in bed at night to scare the kids and just keep them around the house. And they're not all fake. I always say this too. I am in no way, shape, or form trying to go out and scare anybody. I'm not trying to make anybody afraid of it. I'm just telling you the truth. There are things that go bump in the night. There are things that live in our reality that either come in and out of it or just live here all the time and they're hiding elsewhere. They have abilities to cloak themselves, to blink out, to go through portals. They hide underground in cave systems or whatnot. I'm glad we're finally starting to get to an era now, Rye, where it's not that old adage all the time of keep your mouth shut, be quiet. Everybody's going to think you're crazy. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
and I'm not upset at those people, like your dad kinda saying that to you, like, "Don't tell your mom," or anything
It
like
was
that.
the mindset.
Yes, and I think we are getting to a point where it's more, I don't wanna still say accepted, but well, I guess it is, but it's more and more, common that it's happening, and, it like, I have some people who want to talk to me, but they're still afraid of, the negative feedback from maybe the small town that they're living in and stuff like that. And I'm sure you're the same way, Matt. Like if I give interviews and someone is afraid of repercussions, they want to tell their story, but they're afraid. Hey, we can hide your identity. You don't have to give your real
Easily.
name. Yeah, like if need be, I can even change the voice, but that's a little bit more of a pain in the butt. But we can blur out your face or anything like that. So, you know, it, I think one of the things that like one of the reasons I'm doing this is to give people a place to come and speak their truth. And someone's like, "Oh, there's no such thing as their truth." Yes, it is. We all see things from different. We are all experiencing life from our own eyes, and our truths are all different. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but I mean like I'm going to see it this way. You might see something different because you're looking at it for different angles. So we all have our own truths. We're all experiencing life in our own realities. So I give everybody a place to express their truths. And by doing that, you are empowering people to come forward. Maybe someone is terrified and they're afraid and they're like, no, no, Joe just talked about this. I'm not the only one. I'm not alone. And maybe that will give them the strength to come forward, maybe to even actually seek professional help to deal with some of these things that some of these issues that they're facing. Because
Yep.
yeah, like Matt, firsthand how stressful and how much what this can
Hey,
cause to you.
I've been very, forthright in admitting that, besides seeking the counsel of my priest. I have through the years. I'm still like, I get, when I talk about that, I can't stop thinking about that thing running up the stairs. That's why I'm sweating. I have trouble forgetting when I go there. I've gone and got counseling over the years. I've been treated for PTSD. I'm not ashamed to say it. You shouldn't be afraid or ashamed. It doesn't make you less of a person if you can't deal with something. You need some help, like Rye is saying. It doesn't make you any less. It doesn't make you crazy either. Am I portraying I'm a crazy person here? No. It's just there are things that happen in some of our lives that you have trouble dealing with. And two of my friends are no longer here that were there, and things that they did in their lives because they couldn't deal with what occurred led to their deaths, and they didn't deal with it in the correct manner, and they're no longer here. It is what it is. And, NeuroStar treatment, that's what that treatment is I was talking about earlier. It just popped into my head. So look that up, everybody. It's called NeuroStar treatment. It's a new type of treatment for depression, PTSD, anxiety, sleep deprivation. I didn't get it, but I did see it when I went to see somebody, about just my PTSD, not only from the Dogman experience, from that dreamscape dream I had, but also from major PTSD that I and my family have from when the artery blew in my leg a couple years ago, and I died for a little bit. My heart stopped for over 90 seconds. I had a near-death experience, and my family and I were severely impacted by that. I bled to death in front of my family. I still deal with issues from that, and so do they. And I had went to see somebody, and I saw this NeuroStar chair in there, and I asked them about it, and I was like, "Oh, that's crazy, man! Does it work?" And they said it does. I said, "How long does it take? Do they have to sit in there for?" They said it takes them like 3-4 minutes. They put whatever on their head, and I'm sure you could look it up online and get a much deeper explanation of it and what it does, but no drugs, no medications, nothing like that. It's just, whatever, however it works, frequency or electrical impulses or whatever, and it works. So, Glade's Creature, you said they've also been known to have hitchhiking effects. It's then seen at people's homes and bad fortune follows people. I would assume, talking about the Loosh and the evil demons just above, 100%. I was telling Rye about this. I'll share with you guys real quick. I'm not going to go into the specifics. A girl reached out to me recently from the Youngstown area who was flipping out, talking about she lives in an apartment. And she's the only one that lives in the entire building. All of the other apartments are empty, and that she has some type of something living and bothering her. And it sounds like there's multiple things. She has a friend that said that they saw a shadow person. And then she said she believes there's a demon in it, that they saw something in a mirror that looked like some type of reptile demon type thing. And there's the baby. How's your dog's leg, by the way? Is it healed?
No, she still has a cast.
Oh, poor baby.
Well, that's our homemade cast. Sorry for interrupting you. Just keep going.
That's okay. Yeah, no. Rye's dog got injured, and but she's doing okay though.
Well, she took her cast off yesterday herself somehow, and so then we had to do a makeshift one. Yeah, she just pulled it off somehow. So we had to do a makeshift one, and we go tomorrow to get it redone.
Oh, yeah. And would you want to let everybody know your dog's name again?
Yeah, her name is Cody. Codex Cody.
Love it. Perfect. Adorable. Yeah. What kind of dog is that again?
She is a mutt. She is a street dog.
Beautiful.
She was rescued from the street. Yeah, she was maybe a month old when we got her.
Hi, Cody.
Cody.
Cody. Codex, Cody. And she's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Our Hadley will watch. Does the dog watch TV, by the way?
Not really. No.
Oh, our Hadley literally watches TV, and any time, I mean, you look and she'll be, I'm not joking. The entire time you are watching TV, Hadley will watch, and any animal, God forbid, pops up on the screen.
Yeah.
Then it's postal time. She goes ape, you know what, and barks and go. So you have to pause it and try and threaten her with the vibrating collar we have. And
Yeah.
so anyway, just to let everybody know, I'll go back real quick. This girl contacted me just to refresh it. Lives in the Youngstown area, close to me. Lives in a apartment. I assume the way she explained it, it's an older building. She's the only tenant. No of the other apartments are filled.
That's creepy. That's
yeah,
creepy
very. That itself is just creepy. And like when I heard her say that, I'm like, can't you move? Or she's like, well, I don't have the money to move right now. So I felt bad for her. And she told me again, her one friend saw a shadow being. And then her sister and herself said that they saw in the mirror one time another being. It looked like a lizardy type reptile type of demon creature thing. And the thing that freaks her out the most is that they will hear footsteps regularly, and the one that makes her like most nervous, which would me too as well, is she hears growls out loud regularly. So what I did is, she wanted me to come over to her place and see it for myself. And Rye, I told him, and he's like, no, go. And I'm like, no, I already took care of it, because exactly what Rye said to me, I thought, you have that thing attached to me and I bring it home to my house. No, thank you. And I was very sincere. No, thank you. I'm gonna, stay here. But what I did do is I've been reaching out, and I was told by a friend of mine that I could get you in touch with somebody that goes around. They're from Pennsylvania, and they go around to other states, demonologist, and her husband, she is a demonologist. He is like just a ghost type thing. They do cleansings and things like that, and they help people in situations. So I sent her a message, and they are somewhere in another state. She said, we're on site, but I'll get back to you. So I told her, I'll help you as much as I can, but I apologize that there's no way I am coming in your apartment.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. It's okay. I got it. I've been meaning to comment about this. So true. I know everybody says that it creates like a portal. So growing up, my parents used to have like a main mirror and then two side mirrors that were on hinges, and you could kind of like enclose yourself within like a triangle of mirrors, creating this never-ending effect. And I loved doing that and sitting on the counter, closing the mirrors all around me, and being surrounded by mirrors, and being cool. in this strange. So
if something opened up, Rye, while you were doing that, would you go in?
I was young at that point. If something happened now,
at least stick your head in to see.
Yeah.
I would.
The only reason is that my family. That's the only reason. Like my, my family is the only reason. If I was like Bachelor Rye, oh hell yeah, I'd be going in there. Let's do this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So your dog has the look of an African wild dog, the head shaped and ears.
I've had people approach us, like a lot of people, oh, your dog is so different. It's so, because it has huge ears and it has a really long snout. And some people are like, it looks like a fox or something like that, a Zorro, as they would call down here. But yeah, she's very different looking, and crazy too.
Hold on, I'm gonna go above what I just put.
What did True Heart? What do you mean by who has the attachment?
I lived
Or
the
that
old
woman, maybe
Victorian
that woman.
house. A face appeared in the bedroom mirror with my girlfriend was doing her makeup, and that's what she's saying. It had an
Okay.
attachment.
Yeah.
Same thing with this girl that obviously, either this thing is just able to move throughout her apartment and show itself, or maybe the mirror is where it came into her belonging, who knows? Um, but yeah, just a little advice for everybody that doesn't know, if you don't already and didn't get it from our response to her telling me she wanted me to come over and see for myself. Don't do that, guys. You could bring something back to your house. And then, I have something planned that I've talked about with my friends that I am still going to do, and get a group together and go and make a special video. Rye, you said that you would be the control room for us.
Damn straight.
So
I'm excited about that. I
it's
really
gonna be
yeah.
awesome, and we'll let you all know about it as we get closer. It's coming, though. I'm saying in the next couple months, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go to another place, guys. I'm basically gonna take a group of people that you guys are aware of, and some of them you love. We're gonna go to some spot in the United States that is an extremely haunted, beyond haunted place, and we are going to do a special live, and Rye is going to be from home central and take
Holding
care of
down the
it.
base.
Yeah,
Yes.
and safe from anything attaching. Yeah, and
Exactly.
that's why
Well,
Stacy doesn't want me to go there. She's like, you're going to bring something home.
this is the thing, and I want people to know this. Like, we're talking about mirrors here and everything, and mirrors are dangerous because they are portals, right? So things can be inside them. Now, there are so many other portals out there, so not just mirrors. What is a how do we scry? Who knows how to scry? You need a black obsidian mirror, okay, or a black mirror. Hence, why do you think that the show is called Black Mirror, right? It's about scrying. Now, what is this?
It's a black mirror.
It's a black mirror. Look at that. You can see me in there. Okay. This is a scrying device. This is another form of a portal. So your mirrors are a form of portals. Any type of your screens, your video screens, they are portals. Really, they are. If you really think about it, if you want to break it down, you don't want to think, oh, all this mumbo jumbo. No, because I'm able to communicate with you, Matt, and like, maybe I can't go through the portal yet, but I'm able to see you there, and I'm able to talk to you through it. So it's a scrying device as well.
It definitely is, and it's freaky. And has anyone here? Let's do this. Here, I'll put up some of these comments.
Okay, just before we go too far off that one, though, I'm just saying that, like, I know Matt knows this, so like I have trained underneath a shaman, underneath a medicine woman in Canada, and I've learned about how to clear things, how to bless homes, and how to protect your homes. And one of those things is, when I clear homes, you're supposed to clear the doorways. You're supposed to protect the doorways. And one of those doorways, of course, are our TVs, our video, our cell phones, and our mirrors as well. So that is one thing that I always make sure we do is, always clearing mirrors and doorways and portals. But go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. I'm glad that you said that. Yeah, that's really, I've always told you, I'm absolutely fascinated. I can't wait till we visit you down there, and we can just go and eat and, have a drink and dinner and talk about the deeper sides of those things. I'd love to know about it. Author and illustrator BJ Lapierre said, Matt, wear a cage with clear crystal quartz and black tourmaline in it that is shielding from attachments and warding off evil intentions. Thank you. I will do that, BJ.
How do you wear it? Sorry. I have a question though, BJ. How do you wear a cage? So wear a cage with
wear a cage. Yeah,
that I don't understand. Or is it like a cape? Or I don't know. So,
or is it like,
so
would that
True Heart
be considered?
True Heart says, salt is good for keeping evil out. Yes, it is. But make sure you clear before you seal, because salt is like a sealing. Like, you're closing the door on everything. And so you make sure you want to
you could keep something in with you too.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. There we go.
I was right.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
I was
Because you
right.
grabbed that. I was like, you're gonna walk around like in a bird cage. Which, hey, you never know. Things might be crazy enough that it's kind of like
Yeah.
kind of in essence a Faraday cage. Yeah.
That's awesome. I had a feeling it was necklace.
Yeah.
Thank you, BJ. I'm actually I'm glad that you
And what did you
just
say?
said that.
Was that black
Yeah,
tourmaline?
that's what it black tourmaline
Mhm.
and there it
Yeah.
is right there. Clear crystal quartz. I'm taking a picture of this right
Yeah,
now.
black tourmaline is something that I carry with. I don't say all the time, but I have about 3 or 4 pieces of black tourmaline. It is a very strong protection. Now, I had a dream about black tourmaline before that. There was an individual who I worked with, and he was very bad. We'll say like a warlock kind of thing, and he cracked. My black tourmaline cracked because of him. So it was a very interesting dream.
Let's see, Rye, we figured out it's not this house necessarily. It was the property we cleared and set protection around the property line. It cleared the house too. There you go.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Drawing line with salt. It's the best salt to get, of course, is your natural ocean non-iodized salt. But don't make that stop you and be like, oh, I gotta get this special salt. No. Get your iodized salt. It is okay, and always intention. Intention is huge. Intention is key.
I agree. Just like with I'll point to Beaver Creek State Park. What happened to me, I went in and I asked for permission to come in. I mean you no harm. Please show me, show yourself to me, talk to me. I'm your brother, blah, blah, blah. And I had a really cool, positive experience. BJ Lapierre, I wear one 24/7 myself because I'm a sensitive and susceptible to bad stuff. I am as well a sensitive. I am not a psychic. I do not purport to be one of those. I have had my whole life quite a few things from little to big and still happening to me. I have so many people still reaching out to me about that dreamscape dream. Like, Matt, no way that's not a dream. That wasn't a dream. And I agree, it was not. That was something else. And I'm definitely 150% going to get that for my necklace when I go there
Black
for
tourmaline
sure.
is very good. Now,
Smurfy says jade.
I haven't heard much about jade, but I'm just going to go back up because who said this? Joyce. Joyce says, I don't believe in stones and crystals. The Bible says it's witchcraft. Now, everything created by God's hand. Okay. So I don't see that it's evil. I say, yes, you can use it for witchcraft, which would then in turn, it's things aren't inherently evil. It's what you do with them that can make them evil. So that is one thing that, like I have a gun. It's not evil, but if I shoot someone, yeah, like I'm using it to conduct evil. That now that tool has been implicated and it is forever marked now. Like if I use a gun to kill someone, that gun is going to be imprinted with some bad mojo, some bad energy.
Right.
So it's a lot of times, I agree that it can be used for witchcraft 100%. There's no, it is. It's not can be, it is. But if you're using it for something else, if you're using it because it does protect you, it's okay. And yeah, I know you can call on Jesus Christ, you can call on, your God to protect you as well, but you're not going to be able to doing that all the time. So having a crystal in your pocket, just add that little extra protection,
Agreed.
it doesn't hurt.
I agree. Author and illustrator, BJ. Is it Lapierre or Lapierre? I hope I'm pronouncing it correct. Lapierre or Lapierre. God created everything on the earth and in heaven. Crystals were created by God, but if someone of ill intent uses them for nefarious purposes, that is on them, but crystals are good. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. Now, I've actually heard that if you're sometimes you use crystals for ill intent, you can actually crack them. So it's also something. Smurfy, and speaking of cracks, Smurfy just says, and it said that if jade breaks while you're wearing it, may have actually saved your life from something unseen. Yes, because someone is sending you something with ill intent. Exactly, something nefarious. And that's not the first time that I've heard that too, that crystals will crack, not because necessarily you're using it with ill intent, because they have they have stopped something and they have broken. So when I had that dream about the black tourmaline breaking, it was that it protected me and it was time to get rid of it. So that is something to be aware of. If any crystals crack that you have them, you should actually get rid of them. It's time to get rid of them.
Thank you, BJ. It's Lapierre, not Lapierre. So thank you. I always want to pronounce your guys' names correct. I don't want to do anybody dirty, and you're being a wonderful help tonight. Thank you.
Awesome.
Let's see. The breaks, we got that. The house in North Carolina had a quartz crystal around the fireplace.
True Heart was saying that it was they had some activities for 5 years. So yeah, so it had activity for 5 years. Place it though. It worked for you once. It will work again. So sorry, BJ, are you saying that are you saying still keep the piece, or are you saying grab a new piece and go forward with that?
I think that's what she's saying.
There was actually, I will say this. So I had my first quartz crystal I ever purchased. It had an extra, I forget what you call it, like a spire on it as well, like our point or termination. It terminated, is a double terminated quartz crystal. There we go. It had a big one and a small one that was attached, and the small one came off. And I actually, my dog that I had for 15 years that passed away, I actually buried him with that because he was with me when I got it. So I buried him with the big quartz, and I kept that little piece, and I have like a medicine pouch that I keep that in.
That's beautiful. And just to mention here, Jack Spring said he heard about True Heart absolutely right thing on the finger. So what True Heart was saying, if you take your finger and you put it on a mirror and you see your finger touching your finger, it's a fine. There's nothing wrong with the mirror. But if you see a space between your finger, there's something up with that mirror, is what they were saying.
It's a two-way mirror then. So that means that someone is watching from behind.
That's freaky.
Yeah, so it's not like there's something metaphysically wrong with the mirror. There is something physically wrong that someone could be spying on you from the other side.
Get a new piece of tourmaline and bond it with it. The original one did its purpose and is done. Get a new one to carry with you now.
Perfect.
So Glade's Creature, and maybe BJ can help with this one, and you and me, right? What about geodes? So I don't know.
I don't know much about geodes. I've kind of never got too much into them. Though when I was living in Chihuahua, there was a certain place right by where I lived that was just full of geodes just laying around. I remember there were these balls, and I'm like, oh, these are kind of cool. And one was broken open. Yeah, one was broken open, and I saw it, and it was like these mini geodes. And so I was able to, I actually got a bunch of them.
Those are really cool. A lot of antique mirrors are like that. That's strange. It makes you wonder. I wonder if it's more effective if you find a crystal on your own. If you know the occult, if you make magic items through your own effort, they are more effective. That makes sense to me.
I definitely would say so. Like if you find something on your own, or something is gifted to you as well, though being gifted, you need to be very careful about it as well, because
could be attached with something.
Yeah, you don't know if someone is a nefarious, has something they're doing nefarious. But I have a couple of items that were given to me that I know had no nefarious ill intent with him, but yeah, I feel that they're very powerful, and they're very strong, and yeah.
True Heart said, check out some antique shops. You'll see some of the mirrors are that way. Go ahead.
I was going to say, my uncle, when he was living in this apartment complex, somebody had cut a hole in the drywall, and you can scratch a little bit of the backside of a mirror, and you can actually see through it then. And they did that from the other apartment to his apartment in the bathroom.
Oh, wow. That is messed up.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to ask something to BJ. When you have time, BJ, if you could reach out to me, if you're on Facebook, to my Facebook Messenger. And if you're not on Facebook, if you could write me at the channel's email, it's on the front page of the YouTube channel. I wanted to talk to you about a couple things having to do with protection and things like that, because I'm extremely serious here. I'm not joking around. When I go to where I'm going to be going, it's very well known for being extremely haunted. And some people I've found out since have had things jump on for a ride when they left. So I would love to talk to you about some other thing. Okay, thank you. If you could reach out to me on Facebook, if you could send me a friend request, I'd appreciate it. I'd love to talk to you about a few things. Thank you. And you've been a wonderful help tonight as well. Let's see. Yeah, I have a Himalayan rock salt lamp right behind the computer that's actually going right now. So I believe in those as well. Let's go. Let's go to the next one here. Glades creature, I tend to think that if you think something will work, then it will. If you have faith in it, of course, it has to be appropriate.
I totally agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree. The power of the mind is fascinating. You know, if you believe that like this cloth here will save your life, you know, like will protect you, well, there's a good chance that it could. You know, like I'm not saying it's going to protect you from a bullet, but you never know. There could be something, you know, something metaphysical that, you know, the power of your mind can create things and it can protect you.
Absolutely. When you have time, BJ, I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Yes, she as well said salt lamp. She
Mhm.
you know what? I was forgetting to turn my salt lamps on, True Heart, but I've been doing it lately because my daughter has had like a respiratory infection and I have a sinus infection. And every time I use it, it seems like those don't go through as much.
Hmm.
So let's see. Let's see.
Interesting.
Sugi has something here. Copal incense is good to burn to get rid of negative entities. It was traditionally used in exorcisms. Right. I'll let you take that one.
Copal. So it's Copal.
Copal.
Yeah, copal, which is tree resin. It's like tree sap and super common. Like that's what they use here in Mexico. Like they use copal. They burn it for all their ceremonies. Yeah, it is very similar to that of like a sage when you know the North American Indians will use sage. They'll use sweetgrass. Sweetgrass, though, is not about clearing negative energy. Sweetgrass is about appeasing the spirit. So you would, you know, you would cleanse your house with sage and then go through with sweetgrass after the fact. Now, also, if you want to take things up a level, I would say mugwort would be a very powerful thing. And if you will, and you're, I don't know if like I don't know as much about copal, but I do know that clove, you know, like cloves, you can grind up some cloves, and those were used in exorcisms as well. So cloves are very powerful. So I can also give you some advice too, as well, Matt. You know,
Okay.
if you needed any of that,
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Mhm.
Trust me.
And I'm
Before
not
I
saying
go, I'll
don't talk to BJ at all. Like there's I definitely think having a, you know, talking to
multiple. Yeah.
multiple people, yeah, and then you could be, you know, then you do what you feel is right for you.
No, no, I want as much help as I can, and there aren't many people I trust on this earth more than you, Rye. So for sure,
I
bro.
appreciate that.
Let's see. Salt lamps draw in dampness too, so be sure to light them so the dampness will leave the salt, keeps them in good shape. Okay, awesome. Truth Seeker Tammy, Claritin 24-hour allergy relief. Actually, Zyrtec is what we use in this house. Claritin doesn't seem to work for me for whatever reason. So Zyrtec is definitely a chosen one, but that's funny, Tammy. Thank you. Let's see here.
Matt, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I have to take out Cody outside here soon. So I
Yeah,
do
we're
have to
getting ready.
out
We're
here.
getting ready to shut down
Perfect,
here.
perfect.
Always love rock salt lamps, even before I knew how powerful they were. Let's see. I agree. Definitely talk to Rye too. 100%. I will.
Well, and I
Okay.
still say talk to BJ as well. Don't
I will talk to both of
do
them.
that. Yeah.
Thank you. So everybody and Tammy, that's a great comment. Thank you, honey. You're awesome. Smurfy, I'll at least throw this one up because I just met it. Yeah, and it's got a steroid. Really, I did not know that.
No,
Well,
he says no. He says that if it's really bad, he's got to go get a
oh,
steroid.
okay, I gotcha. Thank you. Yeah,
No worries, no worries. Yes,
you get some prednisone in you. So everybody, thank you, True Heart. We appreciate you. I'm going to start shutting it down. So I wanted to real quick again thank everybody for being here, and thank you to Sugi for becoming a new member, gifting 5 Planet 412 memberships, Blasphemy Beast for giving a donation. Excuse me, I was going to sneeze.
Bless you.
And Pamela, it didn't happen, but thank you. Pamela Stefanich also giving a donation. Thank you so much. We really appreciate everybody that came tonight. We had a blast. Rye, I love doing these with you, brother man. It was a good time.
I apologize for not being as prepared as I should have been, but then again, our conversation just has its, like I say, a conversation has legs, and it just kind of goes in a way.
Yeah, this is a laid back, chilled, just come to hang out and get on to good conversations, which you did in our chat. Everybody's awesome in there.
Jack, go to bed.
Yeah. Hey, Jack, how are you, brother? As always, I always point out, I love our family from across the pond. Thank you, Jack, for being here. And thank you to Tammy Truth Seeker, who was a moderator tonight. My wife is sleeping. She's no longer doing it. So Tammy took care of everything. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who came and they're giving us love from this. Ryan and I will be doing this every month.
But that being said, you almost don't like your viewers are fantastic. It's like
unreal.
It's great that Tammy was there, but
there was nothing to be moderated. Yeah, she got to relax and put her feet up. But I have great support. I have a great extended family here at Planet 412, and I love everybody here. Well, I'm going to put this up real quick. For PG, my husband is having major oral surgery tomorrow. Keep us in your prayers. Love you all. We will pray for your husband. Please, everybody, say a prayer for PG's husband. I hope that he's going to be all right. I'm sure he will. And Jack, thank you, sir, for saying that. I'd like to think I do attract a good crowd, and Rye does as well. We want to have a positive, no drama, happy, safe environment for everybody, and we get into some fun conversation.
Just great conversations, great discussions. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. So, Rye, is there anything that you wanted to drop? What's going on before you go?
No, not much. No, it's just of course, if you guys are bored, come on over and check out the Codex of Curiosities. I Sundays I'm now trying to release every Sunday, like a glitch in the Matrix story. I'm not sure. I only got one other set up for that this Sunday, but I don't have any other recordings after that. So if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'll try to keep it every Sunday. But, I just want to say, you guys are fantastic. And thanks everyone for coming out and enjoying this live.
Yep. Amazing. Love every one of you guys. Thank you for being here, supporting. Tomorrow on Planet 412, guys, I'm releasing a really cool, awesome, big named interview tomorrow. It'll be fun. So check us out. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. And again, we love you. Take care and have a great night, everybody. And Rye, again, thanks for being here, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it greatly helps out the channel. I'll see you next time on Planet 412.